Hey, hello. Thanks for coming back to check out another video. I feel like we haven't done that in a long time and it just hasn't felt right with the world, you know? All right. Hey. So what is today? Today is a collab video with the lovely Laura, the lovely Kailee, and the lovely Nat. So I don't know who started this like little battle. I just can't remember. I'm sure I could go back through comments and find it. But anyway, at some point during this year, Laura and Kailee and we've constantly like commented on each other's videos like, oh, it's a friendly competition to see who can like hit the most pans of eyeshadow this year. So it started out as like kind of a joke, but then it like evolved into like, no, we really want to see who can hit the most pans of eyeshadow this year. So it's June, like, well, for me it's May. I'm having to film this at the end of May, the 27th. But anyway, we thought like, okay, it's June, so like it's halfway through the year. Like this is a good point to like update you guys. Like how many pans of eyeshadow have we hit in the year of 2020? So you'll see like a finale, like a part 2 to this video, like sometime, I'm assuming like end of December, maybe 1st of January 2021, just to kind of like wrap everything up. But I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see their videos because I don't know how many pans of eyeshadow they've like hit throughout this year, because yes, I could go back through and watch some of their videos and like get a good guess. Like they're, you know, between pan those eyeshadows and other things that they upload on YouTube, I could get an idea, but that kind of ruins the fun of it. Like I want to be surprised when I see like their numbers. So I'm going to have them all linked down below, their Instagrams and their YouTube channels, so that you can go follow them, check them out. I'm sure if you guys are here watching me, you're watching them. I mean, and if you're not, then go ahead. Okay? Like I've blabbed on enough about how much I love these people. So you should be following them by now, right? Okay, let's just get into it. So I was looking around. A lot of my eyeshadows that I've hit pan on this year it's more, how do I explain this? I've hit pan on more eyeshadows intentionally, in the sense of like they've been in a project one way or another, rather than having more just like organic pans of eyeshadow. Which I guess that makes sense if you're a project panner, if you're doing like pan those eyeshadows or pan that palette or something like that. Like, you know, obviously more of your pans are going to come from those projects. But enough rambling. I'm going to get the ColourPop Super Shock shadows out of the way first, and I'm going to try not to clap anymore. So I don't know the order of which I hit the pans in these. They're just, I don't keep track of dates. Like I just generally write like the month and the year in my spreadsheet. So I just know throughout from, you know, January 2020 till now, I've hit pan in all of these shadows. So the first one I will show you is ColourPop Birthday Girl, if it will focus on that name just in case you want to see it. But here is what this one looks like. And I know ColourPop is so easy with these Super Shock shadows to hit pan on. I do try to like take up the whole surface area with my finger when I do apply these, but I think just naturally the pan kind of slopes downward, you know? So I think you just kind of naturally find that dip as well. But yeah, there's the first one I've hit pan on. Y'all, I would do some swatches, but we would be here all day long. So the next one I have is the shade Falling Up. This shade, Falling Up, and Birthday Girl were never in a project. So these are some just like organic pans that I have going on. I don't know, like this one is such a light shade. Hopefully you can see the pan in there. And then I don't believe this one was in a project. This one also organic pan. It's the shade Bumblebee. This one's like a really bright orange. I've just like been trying to play around with this shade more because I was on the fence on if I liked it or not, and I like used it enough to actually hit pan on it, and I'm still like on the fence about it if I like it or not, but he's still living in my collection. And then this final Super Shock shadow was in my pan those eyeshadows, so it's the shade So Quiche. This one I know for sure has been discontinued. I'm not sure about the other three, to be quite honest, but here's the shade So Quiche. Okay, so Now we will get into palettes, and I think what I'm going to do is show you the palettes that just have like one pan in them, and then we'll move on to like the other ones that have like more pan. No, wait, first I'm going to do singles, or like the potted shadows, because I put them all in this little palette just to make it easier. Okay, so from Pan Those Eyeshadows, I have hit pan on a Pat McGrath Labs shade. It's called Listen. This came from like the little like mini 6-pan palette that I was gifted. This is a Super Shock shadow that was in a ColourPop palette. It's from the Nude Mood palette. It's the shade Wink Wink. This was also in my Pan Those Eyeshadows. And then from ColourPop in the palette Sweet Talk, this is the shade Melody. And again, that was in my Pan Those Eyeshadows. Okay, then from my Lorac Mega Pro 4, I did end up hitting pan on just like one of my last few matte shades from that. It's the shade Mocha. From ABH Subculture, now I've like depotted my Subculture palette, so I don't have like every single shade left in there, but I did manage to hit pan this year on the shade Dawn. I'm trying to get it to like stop tracking my face. And then, spoiler alert, from my Pan Those Eyeshadows, I have managed to hit pan on ColourPop's Tea Garden. I absolutely love this color. And I've noticed too, like a lot of my pans look weird. They look like these lines like that, right? So I don't like, if it's sitting on like the desk, right? I don't like usually dip my brush straight in like that. I like hold my brush at an angle and kind of swirl it. So I think that's interesting that like you can tell a lot about how someone uses their brushes based on their pans. But those are kind of like all the, no, that's not it. This one, okay, so this is a like Franken shade. I had a Pat McGrath Labs like loose pigment that I pressed into a pan, and I hit pan on that this year. So I have a picture of that. Then I took that shade and Frankened it with some of the blush shade from my Lorac Mega Pro 1, and I hit pan on it again. So I am going to count this twice, I think, because I had pan on it and it was like a different shade, and then I Frankened it and re-hit pan. So I think that's fair to count it twice, right? But there it is. I don't know why I'm like having to show you twice, but because I hit pan on it twice. I wouldn't, so if I like actually just had to, let's say, repress a shade, like let's say it gets to the point where I'm like, oh, I've used up, you know, so much of Mocha here and I need to like repress it, I wouldn't count that as a second pan, because like you've already hit pan on it and it's the same shade, just me personally. But if it's like, oh, I hit pan on a shade and then I Frankened it with another shade, making a whole new different thing, and then hit pan on the new shade, like I'm gonna give myself that credit. So there's all those in that palette. Okay, also from Pan Those Eyeshadows, I had selected the shade Blitz from my Profusion Chocolates palette. So that is that right there. So those snap closures are so satisfying. Also from Pan Those Eyeshadows, Urban Decay Naked Honey palette, and it is the shade Honey right there in the center. I love yellow eyeshadows so much. Okay, my Maybelline Blushed Nudes palette. I have, unsurprisingly, hit pan on the cream shade right here. I wonder if they are going to limit how many pans of cream eyeshadow I can hit in the year before I have to not count them, because I think that's what makes up most of my pans right now. So from the Lorac Pro 1 palette, I do have, can you guess, pan on the cream shade. Alright, from the Lorac Pro 3 also, so the Maybelline's palette, that was organic pan, the Lorac was organic pan, and now the Lorac Pro 3. Now, the shades Pink Nude, Light Pewter, and Light Gold were in my Project 50 pan, and then the shade Blanc I hit pan on my own. So there are 4 pans in this palette, as you can see. And then from the Lorac Pro 4 palette, this was not in a project, but I did manage to hit pan on the shade Chantilly. So on camera, I always feel like Chantilly shows up and it looks like a cream color, and it's just a hair darker. It's almost like Dawn from the Subculture palette, where they, for some people, I'm sure it could be like a great cream, like set down your eye primer shade. But for Dawn and Chantilly, how I was using those was like to blend out and soften up the edges of looks. So I don't know why I'm showing it to you again. Like, it changed within like those 5 minutes. Okay, this shade wasn't in a project. I finished off all the creams from my Lorac Mega Pro 4, and so I wanted to see just like how deep, essentially how long it would take to hit pan out of the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. So I don't know if you want to count this as organic or like it was in a project, but again, I do have pan on the cream shade. So yeah, these pans are not as deep as I thought they would be, but they're definitely very hard pressed. So okay, wrapping it up, because most of my pans unsurprisingly come from this guy. So I do have 3 pans in my Tati Beauty Texture Neutrals Volume 1 palette, and they are all organic pans, and I think if I hold it right here you can see. So I have pan on the shade Aura, the matte version, and then I have pan on its glitter counterpart and pan on the Poet glitter. So 3 pans from this palette. And then let's open up this bad boy, because a lot of it comes from here. So all the pan that you see in here I have hit this year. So I hit pan on, as well as finished off, the shades White, Cream, and Fawn. I hit pan on Sepia. I have hit pan on Khaki. I have hit pan on Lilac. I have hit pan on Opal. Opal is like a lighter color, so I think right there you can see the pan in that. I have hit pan on Copper. I've hit pan on Apricot, which I just dug my finger into a little bit. Blush, obviously, you saw that earlier, how it's been franken. I hit pan on Merlot. I have hit pan and almost finished off Cashmere, hit pan and finished off Smoky Topaz, and hit pan on Dusty Rose here. So yeah, a lot of my work has come from this, which makes sense. It's my pan, that palette. But that is all of the eyeshadow pans that I have hit thus far this year. So if I counted correctly, I think that's 38. If it's different, I'll fix it like on the screen. You'll see like what the real number is. But 38, I'm pretty proud of myself. I wish that every palette looked as loved as this palette, y'all. So yeah, but that's it. That's it. I'm just having fun. I like this little friendly competition. It's been great. I think it's really pushed me out of my comfort zone to try like different combinations of looks, because it's like, okay, this shade is a little bit tricky, but like let's try it with like these colors and like see what we can do, and it's just been fun. So I'm so happy that like they're all competitive like me, but like in a friendly way. I'm not even gonna say in a friendly way. I'm a very competitive person. I will push you down at the finish line. No, I won't, because that's cheating. But maybe I will. I am definitely a sore loser. I will tell y'all that. I'm not even afraid to admit it. I will pout for days. So, but yeah, that's it. That is all of my eyeshadows that I've hit pan on so far in the year of 2020. Like I said, please go check out everyone that is linked down below. I will probably put their little faces here at the end of the video, so you could just click on them, okay? But I will catch you guys in the next one, and that's it. Bye.